playoffs with blood in his eyes, with fire in his heart, because finally, after a long stint with Great Taste, he's got the championship feeling just around the corner. And we've got Manny Victorino picking up his 4th point tonight and cutting down the Beerhausen lead to 3, 13-10.
Well, Manny really has established himself as a force this year, especially here in the semifinals and here in the final round. Ricky Relosa 2 times in a row from the outside.
6 points so far for Ricky Relosa. Ricky Brown, in a very untypical fashion, is bringing the ball all the way to the iron. And that time he collected a foul from Abed Gutierrez.
Ricky normally relies on his outside shot, but tonight he's going straight to the bucket for the 2.
You've got intensity written all over the face of this young man who happens to be one of the finest gentlemen we know on and off the court. Ricky Brown comes through with his first carry. It's 15-11. 4-point lead for Beerhausen. 4:16 left in the first quarter. And the Great Taste cheering squad are beside themselves with delight as they sense a big uprising here by the Great Taste after a very sluggish start. 2 for 2 from the line by Ricky Brown. 15-12 is the count. Carpio knows who his man is, and that is Ed Cordero, and is sticking to him like a Siamese twin, and so is Ricky Brown on Juan Cruz. Here's Juan Fernandez playing outside. Joel Banal is not giving him much breathing room. He goes up for the shot anyway, off the board. He misses. And the fast break, the patented lethal fast break of Great Taste, once again being fashioned, anchored on Alejo Lalor. Carpio for the offensive rebound. Foul, says Dr. Cruz.
Yes, Juan Cruz is going to get this personal foul. Ricky Relosa does not like the call. It's not going to matter. Carpio's going to get 2 shots anyway.
Bonnie Carbonell is also very expressive about his sentiments regarding that call. He immediately stood up from his chair. And that was the 17th foul for Beerhausen with a good 3 minutes and 52 to go in the first quarter. You know, the only sour note in this whole affair, as far as yours truly is concerned, is the fact that I'm not having the pleasure of watching my favorite player, Vic Sanchez, play tonight for Beerhausen, because as you remember, he was evicted in that first game for what they felt was unnecessary roughhousing on Arnie Twadless, which automatically resulted in a 1-game suspension. Nevertheless, it's his birthday today, and really it's a sad way to celebrate a birthday. It's his 29th birthday today, and happy birthday to you, my favorite player. And we've got a foul spotted by referee Inosa on Ricky Brown.
We should also note, Joe, that Bob Donato probably will not see any playing time here tonight because of a pulled muscle in one of his legs.
Well, in all fairness to the rest of the Great Taste team, they've done extremely well without Bob Donato in several of their past games, and we've got Joel Banal writhing on the floor with pain as he picks up his own first personal. Mike Bilbao inbounding for the Beerhausens.
There's a lot of arguing going on the court. Frankie Lim's going to come in and replace Ricardo Brown. Juan Fernandez is not very happy at this point. He thinks he's getting elbowed.
And the pass intended for him nearly got away. He recovered just in time. And the Beerhausens are trying to isolate him on a one-on-one basis against Banal. He misses on a glass shot. Follow up by Ed Cordero. Back to a 3-point lead for Beerhausen, 17-14. It could be a 4-point advantage after that last foul by Joey Carpio. 3-point play in the making by Ed Cordero, who has also earned his spurs with a Beerhausen club. 18-14, time down to 3 minutes and 17 in this first period, which already is developing into a highly charged affair. Banal works it over to Joey Carpio at low post. He turns around, throws Ed Cordero off balance, and sinks the bucket.
Yes, good pump fake coming from Carpio. Maybe the referees might want to tighten up on this ball game. It's getting very physical.
And that's being very mild about it. Velosa off Manny Victorino, a tad short with a foul going against Manny.
Victorino.
Only foul number 1 on Victorino. And we've got a timeout by David Aluf, and we shall return. First shot on the way by Ricky Relosa after that last foul by Manny Victorino gives Beerhausen a 3-point lead, 19-16. And this kind of a game is certainly working up an enormous appetite for yours truly. And speaking of that, Doña Nena's, that Spanish specialty restaurant along Macari Avenue, now serves Filipino specialties too. Try their delectable kare-kare, chicken pork adobo, and mouth-watering mechado. For reservations and catering service, dial 816-0942. 2:37 left in the first period. Manny Victorino gets a good assist, and he lays it in with a finger roll.
Well, Cordero is having a problem with Manny Victorino down low. Manny's a little bit bigger and also a little bit stronger than Cordero, and he's having his way inside.
In the meantime, Mike Bilbao was having his way until that very bad pass intended for Mon Fernandez. And here's Victorino running right into Abed Gutierrez. No foul whistle blew. Lim goes up for the pass. Banal inside the three-point territory, and he just got himself a 3-second violation.
Well, let's note that Jimmy Manasala has checked into the ball game. For great taste, Alalua went out during the timeout. Mike Bilbao is also in the game for Beerhausen.
Well, every player on the floor is fired up, which makes every player on the floor a candidate for our Magnolia Ice Cream Best Player of the Game award. A minute and 50 to go. First quarter, 22-18, 4-point lead for Beerhausen. They've been in the driver's seat right from the start of this game. Jimmy Manazala throws up his first shot. Bullseye.
Good penetration by Frankie Lim. Good assist pass.
And the Beerhausens, as expected, are slowing down the game. They intend to dictate the tempo of this game. They don't want to fall on the running gun bait being laid out for them by the coffee men. And that's exactly what they have to do to survive in this game. And here is Ricky Relosa against Manny Victorino. He's having a hard time dealing with Manny Victorino. But Manny is having a hard time controlling the leather, losing it to Ricky Relosa himself. And here's Mon Fernandez. Banal picks him up. Frankie Lim comes up with a steal and a foul. Very vehement protestations by Frankie Lim. I didn't foul him, sir.
Well, Frankie's saying that Mon also pushed off after Frankie tried to take the basketball from him. It's going to be a foul on Frankie. It's going to be Beerhausen's ball.
Top of the key shot by Ricky Relosa. 24-20.
This is something we did not see in the first game. Ricky hitting from the outside. If he can continue that, it's going to open it up for Mon inside.
Right now, Ricky Relosa is the top producer for Beerhausen with 10 points. But they just got back the 2 points. Manny Victorino is even going to go for a 3-point play on that last foul by Ricky Relosa, a second personal.
Well, Joe, like we mentioned earlier, sometimes Great Taste does a good job of playing this control game, and sometimes they don't. But the last 2 times they've played Beerhausen, they've played Beerhausen's game, and they've beaten them at their game, and they've beaten them pretty good, too.
How true. But tonight is an entirely different ball game, an entirely different story, and Baby DeLupan acknowledges that himself when he said that they're going to take one game at a time before they even think of a sweep.
Well, if Great Taste has anything in mind, they should try to push the ball up the court, get their running game going, while Beerhausen, they're doing the correct thing. They're running their control breaks, running their plays.
Right now, Mike Bilbao, the consummate ball carrier for Bonnie Carbonell, just got it off to Ed Cordero, who comes through with a corner shot. 26-23, another 3-point lead. That should give them a little breathing spell, and this should give them even a greater breathing spell. The brilliant steal by Mike Bilbao. And Mike says, okay, fellas, let's stick to our half-court offense. Let's agonize them to death with this kind of a tempo. Frankie Lim watching Mike Bilbao. Joel Banal, as usual, is on Mon Fernandez. He throws up the shot and got the foul from Joel.
Foul Lim.
No, it was Lim's foul, his second personal.
Well, Frankie was helping out that time. He reached in. That's why he got the personal foul.
And Mon Fernandez is looking for his 4th and 5th markers, respectively. That's the 4th marker in the bag. Time down to 1.8 seconds in the first quarter. The game had been so fast and furious. The action had been so competitive, we hardly noticed the time. Now, there's only 1.8 seconds. Manny Victorino knows it only too well. Carpio beat the clock, but couldn't find the hoop. So, it's 28-23, 5.8 for Beerhausen as we prepare for second half action. We'll be right back.